So how did I film this project? Well, I asked about 8 or 9 people if they were okay with being the perspectives. So all the clips you see are recorded by 9 different people. And of course they said yes. And then I asked the entire band as well if they were okay with being filmed, and they all said yes. So why do I have so much footage, and why did I ask 9 people if I could use them as perspectives? Well, I wanted the clips to line up with the music, so I wanted it to be like each of the beats would have a different clip. So I thought that that would be a really cool effect, and that's why I have so many clips in this. So how did I get all of these perspectives? Well, I used a very small camera called a GoPro, and I strapped these onto people using straps like this. There's one head strap, and then there was one chest strap. I only own a head strap though. So I would use those, and that would give a very good perspective POV shot. I also had my dad and Sophie Stringer record a couple of videos when I could not record. So like when I was in the parade, I had my parents film the parade, and when I was on the field, I had Sophie film the field. I also privately recorded 3 interviews with my friends Xander, Ethan, and Ritz. My freshman year, we learned how to ask open-ended questions, and that's when this came into play. You want to ask open-ended questions because if you ask just simple yes or no questions, that really isn't going to help you with your video at all. You want to try and get the most detailed answers to your questions as possible. And for this, I wanted their answers to the questions to be like the structure of the video. So sifting through all this footage was really no joke. Having this many perspectives, it was 3 hours of footage for 3 days. So it's about 9 to 10 hours, including the interviews. I like to say, as many hours as you spend filming, double that, and that's about how much I spend editing. So I probably edited for a solid 24 hours just on this video alone, and then I had to turn it in like a week or 2 later. So I'm very proud of how I was able to film and get all of this done, especially since this was during homecoming week, which is a very busy week, especially for the marching band, but I really wanted to show how much the marching band does in 1 week, and I thought that using the busiest week would really show everything we do for the school. I also made an ending credit sequence. This is something I learned my sophomore year, and I really wanted to do it because I wanted to thank everyone, including the band, and all of the perspectives, and all the interviewers, and all of the my dad and Sophie Stringer as well. I used everything that I had learned in my previous years, such as asking open-ended questions, having an ending credit, keeping the interviewers louder than the music, keeping everything popping at -6, as we say, to make sure it's not too loud. And also, something we learned my freshman year is how to properly frame people. When you have a close-up, you want to make sure that you can have at least an apple above their head, because that looks the most flattering, and so you can see that in the interviews. This was by far the most time-consuming and most amount of people I've ever had to work with on a project, but this was definitely the most well paid off project I've ever made, and I'm really proud of how I did this project. I'm really proud of how I was able to edit it and film it all during the busiest week of the year, and how I was just able to turn it in for class on time, and I'm really proud of how I was able to use everything I learned to make this project, and that's why I wanted to showcase it.